something crazy is happening in the Florida Everglades and people need to know about it. So this guy named Python Cowboy, who was a professional snake hunter and wildlife enthusiast, went on a journey through the Florida Everglades when he stumbled upon a pile of rock that had multiple inverted crosses written on them. And amongst these rocks was a doll, and on this doll was another inverted cross written in ash on its forehead. He noticed a small snake wrapped around it, but something was unusual about the snake. It was bleeding from its anus. He also says that he's never seen anything like that. Now be prepared, because things just keep getting crazier and crazier. When continuing into the area, he notices a set of words written across the floor. He would later learn that this was Latin writing, and when translated, it roughly said, "Turn around and run.
He is watching you."
If this wasn't warning enough, Python Cowboy continues into the area to find a set of abandoned structures, which he continues to explore. That's when he sees it, clear as day, on one of the buildings, a cartoon drawn in spray paint of what is essentially the Python Cowboy. At this point, I would have gotten the f*** out of there, but he continues into the buildings, and what he finds was so alarming that he actually filed a police report and an official investigation was launched. As he continues exploring, he finds the gown of a child pinned to the wall, and around it a message written that said,
she was only 9, we gave her to the devil, like basically talking about sacrificing a child.
multiple other ritualistic items, one of which being a chair with 3 legs, and in the center of it appeared to be a blood stain. It was after seeing these 2 things that he began to realize that he may very well have been in a crime scene, and that this could all be very real. If you thought this was crazy enough, here's where things really begin to ramp up. As he's entering one of these buildings, he feels something grab his leg, and when he looks down, he sees something that gave him the chills. It was a doll, just like the one he had found earlier. It says that he wasn't sure if this was the same doll or not, but one thing was certain: he felt something or someone grab his leg. Now, just when you thought this story was ending, it is far from over. After this exploration, he did more research into the area, and what he found was truly horrifying. This area was an abandoned rocket facility whose founder was a man named Jack Parsons. Turns out this man was a public Satanist in the 1900s, and he was directly involved with Aleister Crowley and L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology. And the final chilling piece of information that Python would find was that Jack Parsons claimed to have conjured his own wife from hell, and his wife's name happened to be Marjorie Kimmel, the same name as Python Cowboy's grandmother. After looking back at all of the evidence, it's almost as if something drew him to this area on that night. After the police investigation, they found no evidence that an actual crime was committed there, so it's assumed that those rituals were merely rituals and no actual sacrifice took place. But there's one small detail that I forgot to mention. On his way back to camp from this abandoned rocket facility, he saw 2 lights in the distance. This was very alarming because they were in a very remote area, and to find anyone out there to begin with was very unlikely. As he's driving toward these lights, he gets closer and closer when he hears,
"Mike, is that you?"
This gave him the chills, because not only was nobody supposed to be out there, how was it that this person knew his real name? It turns out that this was a follower on social media who was very interested in the Everglades and decided to explore alongside him without his knowledge.
"I talked to him the next day. He said 5 minutes after he left me, he heard a bunch of gunshots back there, and he rolled out. Left."
So those people are still there.
Sure, it seems like it.
Holy shit.
It seems like it. So I do...
If you want to watch the full video about
A man named Frank was exploring some abandoned places when one day he came across a strange place that had some demonic symbolism all over the walls. But it turned out he made a mistake in entering, because a few days afterwards, he started to experience strange and creepy activity inside his home. He would start hearing strange sounds around the house, and on one night he heard these sounds again and decided to record. What he captures gave him the chills.
Señora, estoy grabando porque estoy escuchando otra vez los sonidos. ¿Escuche? ¿Qué cojones? ¡Hostia! Coño, se acaba de encender otra vez el aparato ese. ¿Qué cojones? ¿Volvió a encenderse eso? ¡Hostia! ¿Hola? Coño,
A kid's toy suddenly turned on by itself, and after he goes to check, the door to the room slams shut, as if trying to keep him in there. The very next night he hears something disturbing coming from the same room. Take a look.
Escucha. Soy un niño. Escucha. ¿Qué cojones? No hay nadie.
What sounds like creepy distorted baby cries can be heard coming from within the room, but as soon as he opens the door, he finds nobody there. The activity continued for each night, and after a few days, something left him completely terrified.
Empiezo a grabar porque estoy escuchando sonidos desde el baño muy raros y estoy solo en casa. Dentro del baño. ¿Qué cojones? No sé. Hay alguien ahí. Coño. Mire. ¿Qué coño?
He hears noises coming from the bathroom, and when he goes inside to check, the curtains begins to move by themselves as if someone is behind them. But just moments after, the whole thing falls on the floor, and we can see there is nobody there. This left Fran completely shaken to the core, as many viewers believe he is being haunted by some sort of child spirit that has attached itself to him.
The scary footage from this tape was uploaded by We Are Not Alone on Instagram. The video opens up on the scene of a public bathroom. The floors are polished, the stall doors clean, and the water faucets free of mess. It's obvious that the night cleaners take their job quite seriously. Unfortunately for the videographer, it's not any nighttime cleaning crew that's causing the commotion that leads him to investigate the area. At first, the tap goes off on the far left sink. It's a motion activated tap, and there's certainly no human hand waving in front of it. As the videographer continues to comment on the eerie happenings, the hand dryer turns itself on and begins to blast hot air. While this takes place, the tap continues to turn itself off and on. It's easy to tell by the reflection in the mirror that the man filming has just about reached his horror limit. All it takes is the slamming of one of the toilet stall doors to send him running. Have you ever had any mysterious events happen to you in a public toilet? Let me know in the comments section below.
Necesito otra prueba. Ay, marica.
Reddit user Reddit Bands was inside an ambulance when he caught the following on camera. Listen closely or you'll miss it. Now some viewers think that it could have been the paramedic who said this, but Reddit Bands writes, "There was no one in the back with me. No, it wasn't the ambulance driver. It's literally a whisper right next to my phone. Why would the ambulance driver whisper that?" That being said, what are your thoughts on this? Ghost or hoax?
Friend was working in a dark basement. Then this guy came out of nowhere. Then the guy started whistling and walking towards my friend.
Unnskyld? Hører du meg? Hallo?